Hey guys, it's Miss B. I have another word family for you guys to think about this week. The word family, the eat family. So words that end with eat, like treat or meat or beat. So I want you guys to think about that. Some eat words. I have two stories today actually because we usually spend a week on Laura Numeroff. If you give a mouse a cookie, if you give a pig a pancake, those silly stories, which are short and sweet and cute. But today I'm going to read you two of them so that we can compare and contrast them a little bit. I've told my class and the parents in my classroom that it's an easy way to get kids really thinking about stories. So I thought I'd kind of show you how we would do it in class. So, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie by Laura Numeroff, illustrated by Felicia Bond. If you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to ask for a glass of milk. When you give him the milk, he'll probably ask you for a straw. When he's finished, he'll ask for a napkin. Then he'll want to look in a mirror to make sure he doesn't have a milk mustache. When he looks in the mirror, he might notice his hair needs a trim, so he'll probably ask for a pair of nail scissors. When he's finished giving himself a trim, he'll want a broom to sweep up. He'll start sweeping. He might get carried away and sweep every room in the house. This little mouse sounds like me. I get distracted pretty easily. He may even end up washing the floors as well. When he's done, he'll probably want to take a nap. You'll have to fix up a little box for him with a blanket and pillow. He'll crawl in, make himself comfortable, and fluff the pillow a few times. He'll probably ask you to read him a story. So you'll read to him from one of your books and he'll ask to see the pictures. When he looks at the pictures, he'll get so excited he'll want to draw one of his own. So he'll ask for paper and crayons. He'll draw a picture. When the picture is finished, he'll want to sign his name. With the pen, oh, look at him cleaning up. Then he'll want to hang his picture on the refrigerator. Which means he'll need Scotch tape. He'll hang up his drawing and stand back to look at it. Looking at the refrigerator will remind him that he's thirsty. So he'll ask for a glass of milk. And chances are, if he asks for a glass of milk, he's going to want a cookie to go with it. That's so cutie. So, this is like her original, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. But then there's a newer version, and it's called If You Take a Mouse to School. also by Laura Numeroff and illustrated by Felicia Bond. You take a mouse to school. If you take a mouse to school, he'll ask you for your lunchbox. When you give him your lunchbox, he'll want a sandwich. And a snack for later. Then he'll need a notebook and some pencils. He'll probably want to share your backpack too. When you get to school, he'll put his things in your locker and take a look around. He might do a little math and spell a word or two. He'll even try a science experiment. Then he'll need to wash up. You'll have to take him to the bathroom. Once he's nice and clean, he'll be ready for his lunch. On the way to the lunchroom, he'll see some building blocks. He'll build a little mouse house. And make some furniture out of clay. Then he'll need some books for his bookshelf. He'll start by writing one of his own, so he'll need a lot of paper. He'll probably use up all your pencils. When he's finished, he'll want to read his book to you. Then he'll want to take it home, so he'll put it in your lunchbox and tuck it in a safe place. When the bell rings, he'll run out to wait for the bus. While he's waiting, he'll play a quick game of soccer. Then he'll ask you to shoot a few baskets. And do a little skateboarding. When he stops to catch his breath, he'll want to eat his snack. So he'll ask you for your lunchbox. And chances are, if he asks you for your lunchbox, you'll have to take him back to school. Super silly. So there are a lot of similarities and differences in these stories. So I have created a little Venn diagram for us to compare and contrast together. All right, so we have this little Venn diagram here. Just two circles. So I put cookie on one side for if you give a mouse a cookie, and I put school on the other side for if you take a mouse to school. And then where they cross the middle is where we'll write about some of the things that happen in the story that are the same. So I guess I'll just start with cookies. So if you give a mouse a cookie, that takes place at home, right? So that takes place at home. If you take a mouse to school, well, that pretty much takes place at school, right? The setting is the school. Cookie starts out, well, he eats a cookie, that's for sure. But you know what? They both kind of have food in them. Because in school, he has the lunchbox and the snack and whatnot. And then in cookie, he has a cookie and milk. So they both kind of have food as a part of their story. And they both have a mouse. That's pretty important. So food and mouse are the same. In Cookie, he goes and he cuts his hair. Cuts hair. That's what he does first. But then at school, really, he kind of just does school stuff. He makes that experiment. Science experiment. But you know what? That makes me think both of those things, they make messes. They both make messes in their story. Lots of messes. But in this one, this kind of distracts him and he ends up cleaning the house. So that's a little different. Cleaning house. In here, he builds a house. At school, he does. He builds a little house out of blocks. What else is different or the same? Okay, well, he cleans his house, and then after he cleans his house, then he makes a bed, because then he's tired. Makes a bed. And he listens to a story. Which makes him want to draw a picture. That's kind of similar because at this one, he builds his house and then he wants to fill his bookshelf. So he doesn't draw pictures, but he does write his own stories. Make some stories. But he doesn't, maybe in his stories he drew pictures, so maybe that's the same. But he makes the stories and then he reads the stories. He wants to read it to his friend. Reads the story. After he reads the story, he ends up playing soccer. Basketball. He rides a skateboard, not a scooter. He didn't do any of those things in If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. He does, after he draws the picture, then he wants to hang it up, right? He wants to display his artwork. Art on refrigerator. That's a big word. And then they kind of loop back around, right? So after he puts his art on the refrigerator reminds him of the milk, and the milk reminds him of the cookie. And at school, he rides a skateboard, and he's so tired, so he needs a snack, which makes him think about the lunchbox, which makes him think about going to the school. Wow, so I put a lot on those two sides, but more things that are the same. They both have food. They both talk about food and they eat food. It's a mouse in both stories. The mouse makes a mess in both stories. Oh, you know what though? They both use paper in that story. In both stories. So he draws pictures on paper, and in the cookie story and in the school story, he makes books out of paper. And the other big thing about these stories is that they end the same as they begin. So he starts off the story eating a cookie, and then he ends the story wanting a cookie, and then he starts the story by wanting to go to school, and he ends the story by wanting to go to school. So end is the same as the beginning. I'm going to abbreviate that. End is the same as the beginning in both stories. And a really big one, the really important one, is that the mouse is so distracted. Such a distracted little mousey. That's a big one in these two stories. Thanks for playing along, guys. Maybe you can do the same thing with some stories that you like that have similarities and differences. I'll see you guys later.